Standard, Mark Series. Bill Ruger's first product appeared in 1949 as a low-cost .22 rimfire pistol that borrowed the Baby Nambu's profile and appealed to post-war shooters looking for inexpensive practice. The early Ruger pistol, soon known as the Standard, set the template simple blowback, a cylindrical internal bolt running in a tubular receiver, and stamped welded construction that kept costs down without sacrificing durability. The Mark Y arrived in 1951, expanding into target trims with longer barrels and adjustable sights. A subtle A100 frame revision in 1971 moved the magazine follower slot, paving the way for later bolt-hold open changes. The Mark II of 1982 added a last round hold open and 10-round magazines. Then the Mark III broadened features with a side button magazine release, loaded chamber indicator, and optic-ready receivers. In 2016, the Mark IV introduced one-button takedown and an ambidextrous safety. A 2017 retrofit addressed an early safety issue. The mechanics are classic rimfire simplicity. 22 LR, only fixed barrel, the bolt racked by rear ears. Early Standards and Mark I models used 9-round magazines and heel releases. From the Mark II onward, N-round magazines and a conventional hold open became the norm. Barrels range from tapered 4.75 6 inches to heavy bull and slab-sided target profiles up to 10 inches, and the 2245 branch adopts a 1911 light grip angle on polymer frames, later extended by the lightened 2245 light. Civilian use has always been the center of gravity plinking, training, small game control, and formal bullseye. But the family also saw specialized adoption, including the U.S. Army's government target models for training and integrally suppressed Mark II variants used for very quiet work. Earlier generations are now collectible, while the Mark IV remains in broad production across standard target hunter competition tactical 2245 and 2245 light trims. P-Series. The umbrella term P-Series covers aluminum frame early models and later polymer frame generations such as the P95. The P85 launched in 1987 as Ruger's bid to meet Joint Service Small Arms Program requirements after the U.S. military moved to a 9x19 duty pistol. Though it did not win the XM9 contract, the design seeded a long-running family of service pistols across multiple calibers that prioritized ruggedness and price over refinement. The P85 Mk2 represented a safety-updated early production run, and the P345 later bridged to the striker-fired era. Mechanically, these pistols used a Browning-type tilting barrel with a SIG-style cam block, configured as DA/SA, with ambidextrous safety decockers, or in DAA, decocker-only variants. Typical 9mm models carried 15-round magazines. .40 S&W versions used 10 or 11 rounders, while single-stack 45 ACP guns ran 7 or 8 round magazines. A short list of curiosities includes the convertible P89X that could swap between 9mm and 30 Luger with a second barrel, and the P95's use of Dow isoplast polymer in Ruger's first plastic frame auto. Police and security users valued the platform's durability and cost, with adoption by agencies such as the San Diego Police Department and Wisconsin State Patrol, and approval lists that included Chicago. The U.S. Army procured KP95D pistols for Iraqi forces in the 2000s. All P-Series variants are now discontinued, yet remain common on the secondary market, with oddball runs like the P89X drawing the most collector interest. P345. Ruger introduced the P345 in 2004 as a thinner, more ergonomic 45 ACP that would serve as a capstone to the P-Series while incorporating safety features demanded by several state markets. It kept the short recoil-locked breech architecture, but trimmed mass and bulk compared to the P97, adopting a polymer frame and an 8-round single-stack magazine compatible with earlier .45 ACP P-series magazines. The control layout used an ambidextrous manual safety decocker and the pistol layered in a magazine disconnect, a top-mounted loaded chamber indicator, and an integrated keyed lock. Early production suffered teething issues, particularly around dry firing with no magazine inserted, an interaction between the disconnect and firing pin that could cause damage if owners ignored the manual. Later runs resolved these problems and earned a reputation for mild recoil and solid mechanical accuracy for the weight class. The P345 aimed mostly at civilian and compliant state buyers with limited law enforcement use. It left the catalog in 2013 as Ruger pivoted to striker-fired duty guns, and it now occupies a niche on the used market as the last P-series, with late production examples generally preferred. SR Series. The SR Series marked Ruger's first large-caliber striker-fired line, beginning with the SR9 in 2007, at a time when polymer duty pistols dominated both commercial and agency sales. A slim double-stack grip frame only about 1.18 inches through the grip was a design priority, as were ambidextrous controls and a comprehensive safety suite. The family expanded with the compact SR9C in 2010, the 40s S&W SR40 SR40C shortly after the economy trim 9E, and finally the SR45 in 2013 to bring the pattern into taller 45 ACP. Early SR9 pistols were recalled in 2008 for a drop safety concern. The correction introduced a pivoting inner blade on the trigger, an approach familiar from contemporary striker-fired designs. The SR9C earned industry recognition helped by a flexible magazine strategy that allowed compact carry with a shorter magazine and duty size capacity with a sleeve-equipped full-length magazine. Mechanically, the line used a short recoil-locked breech system with a glass-filled nylon frame low-bore axis drift, adjustable sights, and a reversible flat, arched backstrap. The intended market encompassed civilian carry and home defense with some agency use, particularly for off-duty or backup roles. Ruger wound down the line between 2017 and 2019 as the American pistol took the duty slot and the Security 9 covered the budget segment. As a used market proposition, SR9 and SR9C variants remain common, while the SR45 appears less frequently due to a shorter production window. LC Series. Ruger's pocket pistol era began at SHOT Show 2008 with the 380 Auto LCP, a featherweight DAO design that addressed deep concealment and backup roles. Early production required a recall to correct a drop fire condition. Ruger implemented an improved hammer system and returned pistols with magazine extensions, an early example of voice of the customer responsiveness that would become a brand theme. The LCP evolved through a second-generation upgrade with better sights and a shorter pull, a custom model with a red aluminum trigger. The 2016 LCP2 that changed the fire control feel locked open on empty and later appeared as a 22 LR variant. The LCP Max in 2021 shifted the footprint into the micro double-stack world with 10 and 12 round magazines while retaining pocket dimensions. In parallel, the 2011 LC9 translated the concept into 9x19 with a slim DAO manual safety and compliance features. User criticism of its long pull drove the striker-fired LC9s in 2014, while the EC9s in 2017 offered a simplified lower-cost variant with fixed sights and a no-frills finish. An LC380 option briefly used the 9mm frame with .380 ACP to soften recoil. These pistols served primarily civilian concealed carry needs and police backup roles. The present lineup centers on the LCP2, the higher-capacity LCP Max and the EC9s, with the LC9, LC9s, and LC380 discontinued. A cultural footnote attached itself when a Texas governor used an LCP during a coyote encounter. Ruger issued a commemorative coyote special which cemented the little pistol's notoriety well beyond the firearms press. American Pistol. The American Pistol arrived in late 2015 as a duty-sized striker-fired design created with modular handgun system requirements in mind, even though Ruger did not formally enter the competition. A removable stainless steel chassis serves as the serialized component enabling modularity and simplifying maintenance. The action uses a barrel cam geometry that moderates slide velocity and trims felt recoil compared with more conventional timing. Variants cover duty and compact sizes in 9mm and 45 ACP, alongside a 9mm competition model with a 5-inch barrel and upgraded sighting arrangement and match-oriented tweaks. The ergonomics package includes interchangeable back straps, fully ambidextrous controls, and aggressive grip texturing. Pro versions delete the manual safety and magazine disconnect for users who prefer a simpler manual of arms, and takedown does not require a trigger press. The intended audience spanned law enforcement military procurement teams evaluating U.S.-made duty pistols and civilians wanting a full-size defensive pistol at a competitive street price. While agency adoption has been limited compared with entrenched rivals, production continues, and the platform fills Ruger's modern service pistol role with a feature set aligned to contemporary expectations. Security 9. Announced near the end of 2017, the Security 9 replaced the SR series in the budget segment, while deliberately choosing a hammer-fired mechanism to keep manufacturing costs down. Ruger's secure action system combines a shrouded single-action hammer with a bladed trigger, producing a striker-like feel at the trigger face, even though the internals differ. The result is a pistol that meets price targets without abandoning familiar ergonomics and controls. Two sizes anchor the line: a nominally full-size version that is closer to Glock 19 proportions than full-duty dimensions, and a compact variant with a shortened barrel and reduced height. Typical magazines are 15 rounds for the larger model and 10 rounds for the compact with extended options. Frames are glass-filled nylon, slides are alloy steel with a simple black oxide finish. Sights are drift adjustable, and Pro models substitute night sights and omit the manual safety. Takedown uses a pin and does not require a trigger press. The Security 9 caters to civilian buyers and private security users needing a reliable 9mm at a budget price with decent capacity and simple maintenance. It has not been a major police or military issue pistol in the U.S., but it remains in active production with a spread of color treatments and distributor exclusives, continuing Ruger's two-tier strategy alongside the higher-priced American pistol. Ruger 5.7. Ruger entered the 5.7 X 28mm market at the end of 2019 with a pistol designed to make a once exotic cartridge broadly accessible. The company chose a delayed blowback system rather than a tilting barrel, and packaged the gun with a through-hardened lightened slide, a green fiber optic front sight, and an optics-ready drilled and tapped upper. Capacity is 20 rounds in a double-stack steel magazine, while state-restricted versions hold 10. The secure action fire control appears here as well, using an internal hammer with a bladed trigger safety and a short, crisp reset around service pistol norms. An ambidextrous 1911-style manual safety reflects the realities of a very light, very fast cartridge, while a takedown lever allows disassembly without touching the trigger. The frame is a glass-filled nylon shell with texturing and a rail. The barrel uses a fast twist appropriate to the projectile weights common in 5.7 by 28mm. FN Herstal developed the cartridge in the late 1980s for PDW applications, pairing the P90 with the 5.7 pistol. Until Ruger's entry, that pistol effectively monopolized the category. Competition from the Ruger 57 drove new interest and lowered entry costs, which in turn encouraged more ammunition offerings and additional pistol designs from other manufacturers. Civilian defensive use and range experimentation define the user base with limited law enforcement uptake. Production continues with standard and pro configurations and periodic distributor editions. Max 9. The Max 9 arrived in March 2021 as Ruger's response to the micro-compact optics-ready trend ignited by the SIG P365 and Springfield Hellcat. It retained the thin profile valued in the LC9's EC9's lineage, but widened just enough to accommodate a staggered 10 or 12-round 9mm magazine. An optics cut ships as standard under a cover plate using a popular micro-footprint that accepts common carry-sized red dots without milling. Mechanically, it is a striker-fired short recoil pistol with a hammer-forged barrel around 3.2 inches and a trigger tuned to a clean service weight with a short reset. The slide carries forward and rear serrations. The front sight combines a fiber optic pipe and a tritium vial, while the rear is a serrated blacked-out notch. Dimensions keep it inside the micro-compact envelope about 6 inches overall length, a sub-1-inch slide width, and a weight under 20 ounces empty. Safety features include a split-trigger shoe striker block and visual inspection port. The Pro configuration deletes the manual thumb safety. The target audience is the everyday carry shooter who wants double-digit capacity, usable iron sights, and immediate optics support at a price below many peers. The model remains in active production in both standard and Pro variants, and it has become a staple of Ruger's concealed carry catalog. RXM. Ruger's 75th anniversary year brought the RXM, a modular, compact 9mm designed with mag pull and aimed squarely at users who favor Glock Gen 3 geometry but want modern enhancements. The serialized part is a removable stainless steel fire control insert, similar to the P320's FCU. It houses the trigger sear and related parts, enabling grip frame swaps without a transfer, an approach that mirrors the broader industry shift toward chassis-based handguns. Magpool's enhanced handgun grip frames provide aggressive TSP texture, a modest magwell flare, and a 20-degree grip angle. The slide is optics-ready with a direct mount pattern that accepts common footprints without plates, and the cut uses locator pins to keep alignment consistent. Controls and takedown follow familiar striker pistol patterns with a flat-faced trigger around a mid-4-pound break and a tactile reset. Capacity is 15 rounds from the factory with GL9 pattern magazines, and the overall footprint tracks closely with the Glock 19, which means extensive holster compatibility from day one. Ruger rates the pistol for +P ammunition. A notable feature is parts cross-pollination. Most Gen 3 Glock slides barrels, and many internals can fit, which immediately opens a vast aftermarket for barrels, slides, small parts, and sighting options. That compatibility sits alongside the RXM's own optic system and frame modularity, offering 2 different routes to customization. The pistol is positioned for concealed carry plainclothes duty and hobbyist modification rather than a specific military bid. As a new for 2025 release, it is in current production, and early evaluations have emphasized ergonomics, optic mounting rigidity, and the practical benefit of a non-serialized grip ecosystem. If this video was entertaining, give it a thumbs up, pass it along to other firearm enthusiasts, and subscribe to stay tuned for more content of this kind. Thanks for watching.